deepest integration with Keap and Infusionsoft. So on the e-commerce side, we're talking Stripe, ClickBank, WooCommerce, Shopify. Other common tools we integrate with include booking software, e-signature platforms like DocuSign or Adobe Sign, form builders, landing page builders, live chat solutions, lead gen services. There are thousands of apps that we integrate with. Basically, if they can send an email or a webhook, Parsi can pull off the integration. So Parsi is the perfect employee that works around the clock, automating trivial tasks immediately, not eventually, and does so without any error. This frees up your time and the time of your team to perform critical tasks along the customer journey that only humans can do. It truly allows you to scale your operations and serve more customers than you could otherwise. Yeah, check it out for yourself at parsi.com.
We see ourselves staying a customer hub client for a long time.
Working with BoxOut has literally changed the direction of my business in a huge way.
Wow, so that project, I know because we had Infusionsoft for a couple of years and I had somebody that was familiar, sort of familiar with that type of marketing. We had some basic campaigns set up, basic processes set up within our system, but I knew that the extent of that project that we had set up for that live event was huge. I mean, we're talking scheduling, text messages, preliminary emails that went out, follow-up emails, all of that stuff happening prior to the event, stuff happening during the event. So to me, that was pretty major. And the way it was handled and set up and how well it went over was, to me, amazing.
Finally, there's a simple and affordable way to get all of your Infusionsoft and Keap implementation done quickly and efficiently. It's called the factory. Once you have your marketing and sales playbook figured out, you just bring all of those plays to the factory and submit them as requests, and our team will take care of all the rest so you don't have to worry about it.
And had we not had it set up as well as it was, we wouldn't have been quite the buzz of the event. But because we maximized it with your help, we booked every appointment to get these maps done, and everything was just streamlined enough that it was the best 2 months that I've had in the history of the company.
Look, you've got this amazing tool with Infusionsoft or Keap, and it can do powerful things for you and your business. But you need to figure out how you're going to leverage this tool. You can spend your own time figuring out how to do all the things that Infusionsoft can do, and dealing with the coding and the decision diamonds and the campaign building and the exporting and the importing and all the stuff that needs to happen to really leverage the software. You can hire an employee to do that. You can hire a high-end agency to do all of these things. Or you can go forward with the factory. With the factory, it will be simple and affordable, and all the work will get done in the best way possible.
I mean, it's insane. I cannot tell you how thrilled I am to continue working with this team. I love it. I've literally struck gold. Thank you, guys.
So if you want to learn more about the factory, come visit us at the BoxOut marketing booth in the vendor area.
Hi, I'm Damian Lupo, founder of the EQRP company and author of Unicornomics. This is the book I wrote after starting 50 plus companies over the last 20 years. It's taking those companies from 0 to 20 plus million in annual revenue. It's the foundational 15%. This is the most important thing in business, is to understand the foundation. That's part one. If you start the foundation right and you have the right tools, like from our friends at Keap and all the vendors and partners that are here at IKON, you can create an amazing business and tons of money. That's only the first part though. The second part is making sure that you keep the money. How do you do that? You make sure you have investment vehicles that you don't get taxed to death with, that can actually compound that money that you're earning so that it grows and it can work for you. How do you do that? You use the Ferrari of 401ks. What is it? It's the other flyer inside your package. It's called the EQRP. And I'd love to give you a copy of the report and the book.
Hey guys, we're almost ready. Just a couple little technical issues that we're wrapping up right now. Shouldn't be longer than another 2 minutes or so, and then we'll be right back for the small business icon presentation. So just hang with us. I will let the commercial reel roll a little bit longer. We'll be right back. Thanks for your patience.
Then you realized there's so much more I can do. So you searched for new ideas by watching webinars, attending events, and reading blogs. And each one gave you something useful to implement. But here's the problem. Once you went to actually apply them, you realized you'd need to come up with a bunch of workarounds, spend a ton of money on tools or developers, or just not do it. Enter Plus This, an ever-expanding campaign toolkit created for savvy marketing automation users like you, who want to grow sales, wow customers, and save time, without the workarounds, massive costs, or frustration. With Plus This, you get access to dozens of tools like advanced SMS, expiring offers, countdown timers, automated webinars, Facebook funnel matching, and more. All while working hand in hand with your existing marketing automation platform. Plus, they're used by thousands of businesses and top marketers, so you can feel confident your campaigns will work. Learn more about Plus This and see how easy it is to crank up your marketing.
Are you worried your message isn't being heard because your emails aren't being seen? They could be going to spam, promotions, or even being filtered before they get that far. Unfortunately, many Infusionsoft and Keap users don't understand how much the rules of email have changed. Maybe you don't realize you're harming your reputation every time you send an email broadcast. I'm Adrian Savage, founder and creator of Deliverability Dashboard. In this day and age, it's almost always your actions rather than Keap's reputation that will determine whether your emails are seen. I'd love you to check out our free email health check that'll help you spot the most common reasons you might be hurting your email reputation without even realizing it. It gives you a simple score between 0 and 100. Once you've got your score, we'll share hints and tips to help you improve your score and your email reputation, so you'll avoid the spam folder, you could even double your open rates, and you'll definitely be heard by more of your audience. Make sure you register.
Okay. All right. I'm back, and I think we got it all figured out, so we're good to go. All right, before we get into the Small Business Icon of the Year presentations, I just need to share one really, really important thing with you. We had Curtis Beasley here earlier from Mentors International, sharing with you the amazing things that this Keap family has done to serve people all over the world and help budding entrepreneurs in third world countries. It's absolutely amazing. I got a text during that presentation. Someone in this community has stepped up and wants to be an anonymous donor, and they'll match up to $20,000 that we generate and donate during IKON. That is absolutely amazing. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I want you to open up your hearts and wallets and see if we can't meet that $20,000. If we can bring in $20,000 in donations for Mentors International, this anonymous donor will match it. And so that will be 40 total that will go towards entrepreneurs in third world countries trying to grow, trying to lift their families out of poverty. It's absolutely amazing, generous offer that this individual has extended to the Keap family. So super excited about that. So make sure you go to the field, click on the Mentors International button, and put in your donation there, and let's see if we can reach that full match amount. All right, let's get into the Small Business Icon of the Year presentations. I'm gonna bring on Clayt Mask, CEO of Keap, onto the stage here and have him share with you some thoughts about this particular contest, maybe some of the origination story and why we're so excited about it, why it's our favorite part of the event every single year.
All right. Thank you, Tyler. And I just have to say, I am so excited about the generosity of this community. I appreciate that individual. I know who you are, and I appreciate you for making that very generous matching donation. And come on, we can get 20,000 across all the rest of us, so we get at least $40,000 to Mentors International. I love the sponsorship and the partnership we've had with Mentors International for many years now. I've seen the impact in Guatemala where we put the branch of Mentors International. I know how powerful it is when a an entrepreneur can get just a few $100s to get their business going. And I love the fact that the 40,000 plus that we will be able to donate through this event will actually turn into hundreds of thousands of dollars, as those dollars are borrowed, repaid again and again. So we talked this morning about the Keap family is a community of entrepreneurs helping entrepreneurs. Let's help those entrepreneurs with Mentors International. All right, so here we are, the Icon of the Year Award. I love the Small Business Icon Awards. It's so fun to see the stories. I told you that my favorite part about Icon Week is the stories, seeing what you're doing, hearing what you're doing, getting the little bits and pieces, and then the full-blown stories that we get to highlight for you. So we're going to do that. I am super excited and proud of these finalists. I see what they've done, and I get so pleased that we get to have just a little part of their success in growing their business. So take notes, pay attention. If you make a donation, you'll be able to get the playbooks that these entrepreneurs have used in their businesses, which you're going to learn about now. But definitely pay full attention to what you're going to see now, because this is a really powerful way for you to learn and grow your business based on what other people are doing. I promise you'll be inspired. You'll see things that you'd never thought about before, what you can do in your business. And I bet you'll be watching this and saying, okay, I'm going to be up there next year. I'm positive a bunch of you will have that feeling, and I love that. So without further ado, we're going to get into the Small Business Icon Awards, and I'm going to hand it over to Brad of 6th Division. Brad is one of the smartest sales and marketing automation experts I know. He's had a major impact with 6th Division on many of our customers, probably some of you, and certainly has had a big impact with many of our Small Business Icon Award winners over the years. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you, Brad Martineau. I'll let you take it away and take us through the Small Business Icon Awards.
Okay, sweet. So the way we're going to run this is I've got Tyler asked me to prepare and present a little bit about what it takes to be a small business icon. So I'm going to roll through that really quickly, and then I'm going to kick it right back to Tyler. He'll intro the actual finalists, and they've got their presentations they're going to give. I've got maybe 20 minutes or so, because I don't want to be the other roadblock between you and hearing their stories. But what I believe we can do in the next 20 minutes is give you some perspective that will dramatically increase the likelihood that you can take ideas from them and know how to implement them. So if everybody's okay, and if you'll humor me for the next 20 minutes, I'm going to share my screen, and I've got just a couple of things to go through. I'm going to have to turn off this chat. You guys are cracking me up over here. All right, let me share my screen. I got a couple of things to go through, and then we're going to get on to the actual awards or the finalists themselves. All right, so you guys should see the screen over here. It says how to leverage Keap like a small business icon. Yeah? Can I get what do you guys have? Like the thumbs up thing? Is that how this works? Yeah, thumbs up, we're good? Okay, cool. At least somebody can see it. All right, so here's the deal. How to leverage Keap like a small business icon. We're going to talk about the success formula that consistently produces 7-figure businesses. Now, I want to highlight a little phrase in here because I think this is really important. And it's this phrase right here. It's the phrase 7-figure businesses. I recognize that not everybody has a 7-figure business. I also recognize not everybody wants one. So we can replace this because the formula applies even if you want just a more profitable business or if you just want an easier to run business. So what I want to walk through are some things that I've learned as I've interacted with and worked with a bunch of the small business icons about how to leverage Keap so that you can produce that in your business, whether it's a sub 7-figure, 7-figure, or 8-figure, it's some core principles. So mercifully brief introduction. I'm going through all the screens and everything in Zoom and seeing a ton of people I've known from the years. My name is Brad Martineau. I'm the CEO, and I gave myself a title because I wanted to have fun with it, so I call myself the Chief Baller. That'll give you a little sense of my ego. Anyway, here's the deal. This next section, I think, is what they call in speaker training why you should listen to me. So I'm going to do this really, really quickly. So I've been to IKON before, and by I've been to IKON, this was 2012. Like I've spoken multiple times at every single IKON InfusionCon event. I think this was 2014. This was 15 or 16. I don't remember the actual years, and I couldn't find pictures from all of them. But I've been around the community since it was created. I was actually the 6th employee at Infusionsoft way, way, way back in the day. Another reason why is I know some small business icons. So before it was called Small Business Icon, it was called the Ultimate Marketer Contest. This is Dan Bradbury. He won the very first one. This is Sean Greeley. He lost to Dan Bradbury. And if you ever want to see something really funny, put him in a room and then have them debate who should have won. I think they're still looking for a recount on the vote total. This is Jermaine Griggs. He won in 2011. He beat these guys, Human Healthy Vending. You also had the Gleasons that year. Next year was Iron Tribe Fitness. Anyway, the point is like we've been around and a part of it and have worked with. That was Casey Graham, 2013. That doesn't matter. And it's not about me, but I have learned a couple of things. That's what I want to share with you. So hopefully this will give you some perspective about some principles and commonalities that these people use to be successful in their business, whether that's seven-figure business, more profitable, easier to run. Now, here's the key, though. In my title, I said formula. I did not say proven template. And this is really a really important distinction. Proven template equals a starting point. You guys have seen the ads, right? Hey, I've got the landing page. All you have to do is plug it in and your business is a success. What I haven't seen is the story that says I built a successful business because I bought a proven template and I just plugged it in and everything else was great. The formula, the proven template is a starting point. The formula is how to do the work. IKON, small business icons, successful business owners are way more interested in the formula than they are in a proven template. They'll take a proven template if it'll save them time, but more valuable is the formula so you know what to do and how to do it. And then maybe you have a template or maybe you start from scratch, but at least you know how to do it. So what I want to share with you is the formula. Again, seven-figure businesses, more profitable businesses, easier to run businesses. Is that all right? We good? I wish I could see what you guys were saying because I know that some of you got to be cracking jokes. It's not even fair. All right. So I'm going to give you 4 elements to the formula, how to create an automatic client journey, how to leverage automation. And then I'm going to give you a super simple worksheet you can use to take notes, analyze your own business, your own client journey, your own playbook and all of that. And then also take notes and have ideas of what you can do moving forward. So let's dive in. Number 1, I call this coordinated and crack-free mini journeys. I'm going to go through the rest of this pretty quickly. Know that any one of these, I've done like hour-long presentations just on them. So I'm going to give you a little brief taste. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about it some more. I got a presentation at 11, but I just want to give you the core ideas. Principle number 1, element number 1 of the formula is you have coordinated and crack-free mini journeys. This is what Scott talked about when he talked about playbooks. It's about making sure everything's organized, right? So think about your client journey like a really amazing roller coaster ride. People love to go on amazing roller coaster rides. They get off, they want to go on it again. If it's not coordinated though, and if there are cracks, roller coaster rides all of a sudden are not nearly as cool as when they're all put together. This is why this is so critical. So the principle of this element is the idea of we want everything to be coordinated. This comment is where most people find themselves. I have a few of the pieces you mentioned. I've got articles, online course, webinars, but they seem to be just floating around in space and not tethered to any kind of system or flow, which would be ideal. This is a problem, and we've got to solve this problem in order to really harness this formula that small business icons have been able to capture to build and grow their business. So the summary here is we want to seal the cracks because like in a house, if you have a crack with pipes, right, it leaks water. In your business, it leaks money, it leaks time, it leaks energy. We've got to make sure we've got coordinated and crack-free mini journeys. That's one element of the formula. And then again, I'll show you the worksheet on how you can break all this down. It's super simple. All right, number 2, what we got to have is raving fan producing experiences into the coordinated and crack-free journey. So as we look at this, go back to this, I want an amazing experience at every single step, at every single point, in every single play in my playbook. The challenge is that most of us actually have something a little bit more like this, like we're trying to get there, but we haven't quite figured it out. Some of us, I won't ask anyone to raise their hands, but some of us have stuff that's like this, where it's like, there's just nothing going on. The challenge with this, if you don't create an amazing experience at every single step in the process, people just forget about you. And if they forget about you, your business ain't going anywhere. You have to do something to set yourself apart. So 2 principles on this really quickly. Number 1 is the principle of preparation. If I set somebody onto a roller coaster who has been prepared and loves roller coasters, and I set somebody else on it next to them who's never been on one and who's scared out of their mind, they will go through the exact same process and they will have 2 extremely different experiences. There's an element of preparation where throughout your entire business, you can leverage automation to prepare people for the experience you're about to deliver so that it increases the experience. That's one element. I got so much more I want to say about that, but I can't. I don't have time. Number 2 is this truth. How you deliver matters as much as what you deliver. There is a difference between value and experience. Value is the cost of admission. It means you did what you said you would do. Experience is how you deliver it. That's the thing that makes people remember you. That's the thing that makes people love you, is how you do it. The fact that you did what you did is like, what, do you want a cookie or a reward? You just did what you said you were going to do. There's no bonus for that. So we got to make sure that we're stacking the experience on top of the value. And a lot of times we're like, oh, but I gave them what they said they wanted. No, you got to go a little bit further and you got to create an experience. So number 2 is raving fan producing experiences. All right. Number 3, minion dispatching easy buttons. This is another element of the formula. Anybody ever feel like this every day? Time left versus stuff left to do. It's like, I do not have enough time to get to all the things that I need to do. Wouldn't it be amazing if I could push some buttons and have all this stuff just get done for me? Because here's the truth. There is some work in your business that is important to be done, but there is no extra value because a human does it. And I find every one of those elements where it's like, yeah, this has to be done, but I don't get any bonus points because I have a person doing it. Those are the things I want to go look to automate, and I want to create minion dispatching easy buttons. This is a third element of the formula that small business icons use. And then the fourth one, which we've talked about several times, Jared talked about it, I saw a bunch of it in the comments, is decision informing reporting. If you want to take your business to 7 figures, if you want to take your business to more profitable, if you want to take your business to easier to run, you have to have visibility. And it has to be visibility that's designed to help you make better decisions. It's not just a report, it's a report that leads to a decision. There's a big, big difference between the two. The challenge that most of us have is that we run our business kind of like this. This is the extent of our reporting. And in case anyone's wondering if there's a technical glitch, there's not. It's intentionally a black slide. It was a joke. I hope it was funny. Okay, we'll move on now. All right. Decision informed reporting is the fourth. So let me give you a quick summary of the entire formula, and then I'm going to roll through this worksheet that you can get access to, and then we're going to get on to some really cool stories from some amazing businesses. I've got to be able to watch some of the videos. I'm really excited to hear their stories. So here's the formula. Number 1, coordinated and crack-free mini journeys. Number 2, raving fan producing experiences. Number 3, minion dispatching easy buttons. And number 4, decision informing reporting. So I've been doing this for a really, really long time. And what I'm telling you is every single thing you ever do in your business is going to be to make one of those 4 things happen, period. Those are the 4 key elements. Now, once you recognize that that's the formula, now you can start to analyze and assess the business and say, okay, where am I falling short based on the formula that produces success? And which one of them do I need to upgrade next to give me the biggest bang for my buck? But those are the 4 things. So if it's all right with you, I'm just going to go over a real simple and practical worksheet, and then I'm going to give you a little number you can text in, and then I'll send it to you. You could use it to take notes as the finalists present in just a minute, and then you can use it to organize all your thoughts and ideas about what you might do as it relates to your client journey. All right, so the worksheet's going to look like this when you get it, okay? And I'm just going to go through each section. I'll tell you how to fill it out, and then we'll do one last recap, and then we'll be good to go. All right, so this first section up here, this is really, really simple. This is just for you to write down what the plays are that you have at each of these areas of the client journey. So we've got, what are your client plays? Just list them. I know that you got to organize them and make sure everything's connected. What I'm talking about here, though, is I just want you to list them. And the only purpose for this is so that they're all there and they're all clear and you're not trying to remember, because our memories as humans and entrepreneurs suck. So I want you to list them off. What are my client plays? What are my prospect plays where I'm selling? What are my lead plays? And then attention is all of the things you're doing to get people's attention so you can get them into one of your other plays. This is what you're doing on Facebook. It's what you're going to send to your list. It's all those elements that are, I got to get people's attention, get them to be a lead, turn them into a prospect, turn them into a client. So all you do is just list off your plays. That's it. We don't need to do anything else. It's just so I know what I'm grading when I get to the grading in just a second. All right, we good? Maybe I might be able to flip over. My PowerPoint here is not letting me see your comments. So if you have a question, type it in. And if we have some time, I'll go try and answer them in a second. Okay. All right. So that's the top section. When you get it, you'll just list off, what am I doing right now? The next section here is where you grade it. Okay. So this is pretty simple. You've got the 4 categories or the 4 aspects of your client journey, the 4 types of plays: attention, lead, prospect, client, right? And then what you have is you've got the 4 elements of the formula: journey, experience, usability, and visibility. So we go down, you're going to go look at journey. You're going to look at the list above and say, okay, client plays. Give myself a grade on how well I'm doing with my client plays as far as journey, meaning, is it connected? Is it clear that I have something consistently flowing into this play? And is it clear where they're going next when they're done with this play? And then you give yourself a grade. Maybe throw some notes in there about what you might improve. And you can grade this any way you want. Make up a number scale. You can do like A, B, C, D, F. You could use these and be like, hey, I've got either a thumbs up or it's a thumbs down, meaning it's a problem, or I don't actually know. This is also a problem, by the way. Or you could use this one and take off the clapping and turn it sideways and do like the I don't know, right? Those are really the 4 elements of, it's either an asset for me, it's just kind of okay, it's a problem, or I don't know. And so you grade yourself, and then you go look at your prospect plays from a journey standpoint. Are we constantly flowing into this? Are we constantly are we clear where they're going? It should be insanely obvious when I go through any one of your plays without me looking at your playbook, what the next thing is you're trying to get me to. If not, we got a problem with the journey. It's not coordinated. We got cracks that are happening in there. All right, second one, experience. Most of us naturally think client experience, somebody bought, we got to make sure the experience is amazing. And then we forget, or we just aren't aware that those same principles apply to the prospect plays, to the lead plays, and to the attention plays. Question is, when somebody's done with your prospect play, are they freaking pumped out of their mind, or do you sound like every other person they went through a prospect play for, right? That we want to make sure we extend experience to the very beginning of our client journey. And it's not just, oh, well, once they buy, then I'll blow their mind. Well, you may never get a chance to if they don't buy because you're delivering a poor experience, right? All right, usability. How easy is it for me to deliver for my client play, deliver my client plays? How easy is it to deliver my prospect plays? How easy for my lead plays? Like, are there areas where it's like, man, this actually is really time consuming, so I'm going to give myself a C or whatever, and then I can go figure out how to upgrade that. And then the last thing is, how's my reporting? How's my visibility and my decision making in this part of my business? Now, here's the deal. I mean, like, do you actually have reports that come to you consistently that you know are accurate? Like, there's no chance that they could be wrong. I don't mean like, no, I got a pretty good feel because I just got a pretty good feel for my business. That's not the way we run this. I think Jared talked about this in his commercial in his little session. We don't run our business that way. If we want to be serious and committed to how we grow this, this is no, I know exactly which reports I'm looking at. I know exactly which decisions I'm making based on that report. I know that the data flowing into it is pulled in accurately because I've done all the work to make sure it's aligned up and it's corrected or connected. Client, prospect, lead, and attention across the 4 different categories. Okay, so that's that section. So that's where you grade yourself. So the front of this sheet is list off what you're doing, give yourself a grade, maybe take some notes. The back of this is really simple. This is where you take notes on what other people are doing. So this is where you're going through the conference and you're like, oh, I'm going to hear, okay, Ben's going to talk. Let's see what Ben did. He's a finalist. Let's figure out what happened here. And you'll take them back. Oh, he did something really cool in the client journey. He connected that, or he did something really cool with usability and prospect. I could take that idea. Or I'm going to look at Sandy, or I'm going to look at Evan, or I'm going to look at the Henrys. Like, here's what they did. And I can slot it in a spot. And then what you do, if we jump back to this page, is you go back and look at your own grade and you say, hey, let me look at my grades. Now, which one of those, if I fixed it or upgraded it, would move my business forward the furthest, fastest? And then you go look at the right side and you say, what ideas sit in that box? And then you go implement those ones. And then you do this like once a month, and it'll only transform your business. That's all. It'll just make a massive difference and make your business way better, make your clients way happier. All right, I think we're doing a recap now. Let me see. Yeah, recap. Formula, not proven template. Don't get stuck on the train of trying to chase after a proven template. Lock down the formula. This is the formula. Across your entire client journey, you want to be focused on coordinated and crack-free mini journeys, raving fan producing experiences, minion dispatching easy buttons, and decision informing reporting. Here's a simple worksheet you can use. This is where you list off what you're doing. This is where you give yourself a grade. And this is where you catalog. I think I'm making up words now. It's where you catalog and organize ideas of what you could do so that you can then go decide what you want to go upgrade in your business. So anybody want this? Let's do the, can we do a hand raise? How does that work? Yeah, thumbs up. Anybody interested in this worksheet? Yeah. I'm only giving it to people that showed me the green thumb. Sorry, Damien, that doesn't count. I'm not taking a real thumb. All right, so here's the deal. Here's what you do. Send text matrix to that number right there. I'll leave that up for a second. Text matrix to that number. And then tomorrow at 11 o'clock Arizona time, which I believe now with time zone changes is like 1 o'clock Eastern, and the rest of you have to figure it out based on that. I'm going to do a presentation, which is like part 2 of this, which is highlighting specific examples from businesses across that matrix. So like, all right, here's a specific example of how you can upgrade experience in your prospect plays. Here's an example of how you can upgrade or your journey in your lead plays, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to give a slew of examples. And then what we're going to do after that is we're going to go in and actually look at, now I can give you a bunch of ideas, but we all know that once you have an idea, that's like maybe 10% of the battle. And then the other 70% is I got to get this thing actually up and running in my business and not get pissed off at somebody in the process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the formula for getting your ideas implemented at lightning speed without wanting to go crazy. So you can actually take the ideas, get them implemented. And if anybody's wondering what the last 20% is in my formula, the last 20% is using the reporting that you put into place so you can go optimize it and make it better. And I got a fudge factor in those percentages. They may not be exactly accurate. So text matrix to that number. I will send you this worksheet. You can print it out. You can use it. And then I'm going to follow up so annoyingly. And I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. But we'll send that to you. And this will be a great resource for you to use as you start to pay attention to those that are about to come on. So we got Ben, Sandy, Evan, and the Henrys coming on, and they're going to break down how they got to be a part of this contest. The key is it doesn't actually matter if you want to be a part of the contest. What you want is the result. This formula will give you the result, and they have phenomenal examples of things that they've done that work that you can just take, apply to this formula, get it up and running in your business. You'll be off to the races. So text matrix to that number. I'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock Arizona time, and I'm going to flip it back over to Tyler, and he's going to introduce the finalists, and we're going to hear all the cool things that they're doing.
Awesome. Brad, thank you so much. That was amazing. Really good stuff. Let's have Brad stop sharing his screen. There we go. All right, look, it's time. We're going to get right into it. We're a little over time. Sorry about that, but this is the stuff you came here for. And so without any further ado, our first contestant is Ben Marshall. So we'll watch a little quick intro video with Ben. And then after that intro video, Ben, you just go ahead and take it away. You can just unmute yourself and roll right after the video ends. And the time will be yours. We got 20 minutes on the clock for each contestant. And then after this is all over, you guys are going to vote for the winner. All right, let's watch this little intro video, and then Ben will be up.
What we actually do is supply live music for weddings and events. There are approximately 200,000 weddings a year just in the United Kingdom alone. And we have grown from being just an £80,000 turnover business to over £3 million now. And we've done that in the space of 4 years, growing our staff team from just myself and one other member of staff through to 11 of us. We needed to find a way to automate a large percentage of the tasks that we find ourselves having to do within the business. And Infusionsoft was the solution to that problem. What it allowed us to do was to vastly increase the amount of leads that we could feed into our CRM and automate the follow-up process so that every one of our customers had an incredible experience receiving really important information. Without Infusionsoft, it simply wouldn't have been possible to generate the amount of email content that we do, and we're talking thousands of emails a day. Pivotal to the center of that has been this concept of automation and using software to replace so much of the laborious work that comes with running a small business. We used to have to get on the phone to people and have those conversations, which is just so massively time consuming and often ineffective. It's allowed us not only to be more cost effective, but actually to be far more efficient and give our end users just a much better experience, which of course in turn has resulted in a much higher referral rate and a much higher customer satisfaction score, which is ultimately for us as small business owners what it's all about. I guess for me, as a father of 2 kids, the biggest benefit to me has been able to spend time with them. You ask any entrepreneur what they're short of, it's rarely resources, it's normally time. And that is the most precious thing of all. And having Infusionsoft at the heart of our business has given me, as the founder, time back that I never thought I'd get as a business owner. So Infusionsoft, thank you, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Fantastic stuff. Thank you very much. I'm hoping that you can see my screen and you can see my slides. I believe that's the case. I just want to start by saying a massive thank you. And a thank you to Clay and to Tyler for making this happen, because I'm pretty sure I speak on every entrepreneur across the land, whether this side of the Atlantic or your side of the Atlantic, when I say that this has been a remarkable year like one we've never experienced. And normally when I come to a conference, be it IKON or another one, I'm looking for some kind of inspirational play or something to happen that is it's going to change the business. But actually, I think what I need at the minute, like most entrepreneurs, is some hope, some motivation, some community. So thank you very much on behalf of everybody that's here for making this happen. It's really an honor to be here. And the video's already told you a little bit about the business. We're a business that works in the music industry, managing artists. And that's original artists, it's function bands, it's session musicians of all different genres. We have a very simple purpose, and that is simply to let musicians concentrate on making music. Very, very, very straightforward. Just once, I'm just going to check that I can, is my screen sharing? Can everyone give me a nod if it's sharing? You can see my slides? Yeah, that's cool. Okay. So, yeah, we have a really simple purpose to let musicians make music. And we also have a mantra that is to be the best artist management company that you've never heard of. As a young lad, I used to do a lot of football refereeing, soccer refereeing, as you guys would call it. And I always had this thing that I'd worked with, that the best referees, the ones that you didn't notice. And I think there's something very, very true in management of artists that's a parallel to that. whereby the best artist management companies just, you don't notice, they just kind of fade into the background. And we prefer to celebrate the success of our clients and promote them. So normally if you hear about us, it's because something's gone wrong and we need to sort it. But that's a little bit about our company. What I really want to do is focus on our journey then. So the company started in 2014. We started with one employee, a young man by the name of Nathan. Nathan was 16 when he left high school, came to work for me. We had 2 bands, 4 musicians. Fast forward to today, and we now have 11 employees, 115 musicians, over 40 bands, and 22 associates across the globe, Dubai, Nashville, literally all over the world. It's been an incredible journey. But there are 2 pivotal moments that I want to specifically just look at for a moment. The first one was in 2015, where we decided that it was the right time to get involved in growth, and we wanted to take the business up a notch. And we decided that we would look for some software that was going to do our sales and marketing for us. We didn't really know what kind of software we wanted. We didn't know what it wanted to do, but we knew that we needed something. And other companies were using things to take their sales and their marketing to another level. And we stumbled across this piece of software called Infusionsoft. Didn't really know what it was, what it did, but we thought all the reviews were great. And this sounds absolutely crazy, but we bought this piece of software, not really knowing what it did. Within a couple of months, we'd made some incredible campaigns. We both kind of technically minded, and the logic of Infusionsoft, it's kind of suited both myself and Nathan. And within 3 months, we built campaigns that were generating leads from 60 different web pages all into one campaign. Doing some really incredible stuff. They were, yeah, hi there.
I think we're stuck on your first slide still. You might want to try stopping the screen share and then start the screen share again.
Okay, I'm going to do that just now. Bear with me.
Yeah, we missed a couple of things there.
Can you see that now?
Yeah, we can see it. So go ahead and put it in presentation view again, and hopefully it sticks with it this time.
How's
okay,
that?
We're good. I'll let you know if it sticks again.
Yeah, good man. Thank you. So yeah, that's what the first campaign. There's the journey one that we missed out, I think, on that one. 1 employee through to 11, 2014 to present day. And we're talking about the campaigns we did. We created these huge campaigns fairly early on in our Infusionsoft journey, and they were not just emails, but they were tasks and different things, fairly basic stuff. But nevertheless, quite revolutionary to our business. On to the next slide. IKON has played a massive part in this. In 2016, we decided that we wanted to be involved a little bit more in this. Yeah, has it done it again?
Yeah, maybe just leave it in normal view.
I'm going to leave it at that. Cool.
Yeah, just click it like that. Yeah, that works.
Brilliant.
Perfect.
Thank you. So yeah, we decided that we wanted to know a little bit more about this Infusionsoft community, and we headed over the Atlantic to Arizona and spent the week in Phoenix as part of the IKON event. And the thing for us that blew us away was not just the quality of the content and the speakers, but also the exposure to the concept of APIs and being able to integrate other bits of software into our system and our use of Infusionsoft. Now we use over 12 different other software companies that tie into Infusionsoft. All of those are part of the integration process that we go through. So back to the journey. This is really significant because the finances, the revenue that we generated started out in year 1 at £76,000. And last year, in our financial year to date, which ended April, we did £3.6 million, which is growth far in excess of anything that we could really, honestly, ever have dreamt of. And Infusionsoft's been really significant in making that happen. But this is the thing that I really want to draw your attention to more than anything, because whilst revenue is important, and I alluded to this in the video, the thing that I'm always shortest of as an entrepreneur, with a guy with lots of responsibilities in my community, more importantly with 2 children, the thing I'm always short of is time. And what's really interesting as we look at our journey is that whilst the revenue has gone up, the time that I'm required to be involved in the business as the chief exec has actually gone down, which for me is utopia. It's one thing to be able to grow revenue, but to be able to kind of claw time back at the same time is the ultimate goal, really. So I want to just spend a little bit of time in the last kind of 10, 12 minutes that I've got, just unpacking some of the things that we've done to enable us to do that. So the big challenges, there's 3 in our industry. The first one is that weddings, parties, and events generally require a personal approach. They want a personal touch. Nobody wants to get married and kind of work on the basis that a robot or an automation software has planned their wedding for them. Nobody wants a 50th birthday party that hasn't had any human interaction. They want their, as far as they're concerned, it's the biggest event in London that year. Nobody else matters, and they want your undivided attention. The second thing is that the administration demands for managing artists is just absolutely huge. When I say that we deal with probably 13, 14 different suppliers for every single booking, be that sound engineers or whatever, the administration demands on our team are absolutely massive. And the third thing is, particularly with a young team, which is what I've got, managing their workflows can sometimes be difficult, particularly when you want to be in the business less and less, which is certainly the case for me. So they're the three different things that are the big challenges for us, and that Infusionsoft has helped us overcome. Very quickly, I'm going to take you through the funnel, and then we'll unpack a couple of the things out of our playbook that I think may be useful to everybody else. So the first thing is to look at our ads. We are big users of Facebook ads. We are even bigger users of Google ads, and we now spend on an average week just in excess of £6,000, which I think is about $8,500 every single week. Which is a lot of money, but the return on it is quite remarkable. You don't need to be a mathematician to work out that sort of spend with the 3.6 million return is great ROI. We also do quite a bit of offline marketing, whereby we'll attend wedding fairs, basically anywhere where there's a potential customer, we'll try and get a presence there. I put up now a couple of examples of our Facebook ads, which is on the left and obviously a Google on the right. And you'll see on the right-hand side that actually there's three of those, the City Folk, Coco Magic and Mad About Tomorrow are all artists that we represent and feature at the top of Google search terms for the keywords that we're interested in. The next part of the funnel is the personal response. Now, I've got to say, and Keap probably won't thank me for this, but we decided fairly early on that automation wasn't going to work for this part of the business. We tried it, we failed fast, and we failed hard. So we decided that at this point needed to be a very, very personal touch. That initial contact required a human element to it. And no matter how hard we tried to automate it, it wasn't possible. And actually, and I'm going to speak really openly and honestly now, we found actually that Infusionsoft wasn't the best way of doing that. And we started using Zendesk, which I believe, I know there's people here that use that. And I know FuseDesk is something that I've been looking at since I've heard about that this last couple of days. And that might be an opportunity to switch. But we decided that Zendesk was actually a better way of doing that. What's even better is that Zendesk ties in with Infusionsoft. So we were still able to keep Infusionsoft the heartbeat of our business and make sure that everything was kind of still in one place and was as effective as it could possibly be. That was really, really important for us and worked really, 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 really well. I guess the next thing is the automated content. And this is fairly the bread and butter stuff of Infusionsoft. It was back in 2015 when we implemented it, and it still is now. The automated content can be anything from SMS, text messages, automated emails, there's some examples there, invitations to webinars, invitations to schedule a Zoom call with us. There's loads of different things that we use to keep leads warm and to condition them to a point where they're ready for sale. I guess another thing that we use is a piece of software called Bandmatch Pro, which I'm going to touch on in a little while, and there's a screenshot there also of one of the webinars that we use. Payment is something that we use Infusionsoft for. Some of our customers choose to pay through that method. Some prefer bank transfer. There's actually a bit of a different culture in the US and the UK on how people prefer to pay for things, and that's reflected in the way that we work with kind of private customers and more corporate customers. But the payment is handled in and outside of Infusionsoft, but again, all tied in centrally, so we can always keep on top of what's where, and we know exactly where the customer's at any given moment, and we can always lay our hands on that information, which is fantastic. And then next bit, and this is the bit that I think I'm probably most proud of, is the fulfillment. Because when we bought Infusionsoft, we bought it as a sales and marketing tool, as 99% of people here will have done. But what we found out fairly quickly was that we were actually able to use Infusionsoft to deliver probably about 60–70% of the service that we actually provide. Because as a management company, all you're doing is you're collecting information, you're arranging it, collating it, and then disseminating it to other parties. So by using forms, there's a screenshot of one there that one of our bands uses to collect information about first answers to contacts, insurance information, loads and loads of different fields of data. We can then ensure that that data is disseminated to all the different people, the sound engineers, the lighting engineers, the road crew, the road managers, logistics. We can make sure that everybody has got what they need, and more importantly, they've got it when they need it. So Infusionsoft for us was not just about the sales and marketing. It very, very, very quickly became about actually fulfilling the service that we provide to our clients. And that's something that I think is quite unique to us. And it's something that we're remarkably proud of, and have been able to achieve some really, really cool stuff doing that. I guess what I'm going to ask now is for a little bit of participation, and you're going to have to just run with it just for a moment. And everyone's thinking, oh no, the English guy is going to get us doing this, and yeah, I am. And I want everybody just to get their green and their red, their signs, thumbs up or thumbs down. And I want to read a statement, and I want you to tell me whether you agree with this or whether you don't agree with this. And that is that the male species is completely different to the female species in how they think, in how they act, and how they react. If you think that's a true statement, give me a thumbs up, give me a kind of nod. If you think it's a load of rubbish, give me the thumbs down. So we're saying yes. Everybody's giving me the yes. Okay, so I ask you this, okay? Why, if we all agree, as we seem to, that men and women are so different, why do we all treat them, when they're in terms of leads, exactly the same way? There's a very wise statement, wasn't there, once upon a time, I don't know who said it, that men are from Mars, women are from Venus. It's so true. So why on earth do most businesses target them and advertise them in the same way? One of the things that we've done with great success is when a lead comes into Infusionsoft, we've created a human task for one of our teams to identify the gender of that lead and assign them a tag, male or female, which means that when they get into our follow-up sequence and that automated content that we were talking about earlier is delivered, they get different. I don't know if you can see my mouse cursor or not, but they get different email content depending on their gender, which is really important, because what we found, particularly with the wedding market, which is a huge part of our business, that women and men, they want different lengths of emails, they want different content, and that has been an absolute game changer for us. It's something that very, very, very few businesses do. But they are fundamentally different species in their buying habits and their conditioning. So it's really, 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 really interesting to see how that's made a difference in our business. And I can tell you now, if you've not experimented with it, it's something that I would really, really, really encourage you to do, because it's quite a powerful thing once you've got that done. Okay, the next thing I want you to vote on, thumbs up or thumbs down, is that this statement. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? That if you do a great job for someone, they'll shout your name from the rooftops and you get lots of referrals. Do you agree with that statement? Thumbs up if you do, thumbs down if you're not so sure. I'm getting thumbs ups. That's good. Most people agree with it, okay? So I'll tell you this, 99% of businesses, services and products, you're absolutely right. The one business that I've ever been involved in, and I've had countless businesses over the years, still have many, the one business that I've never, ever been the one business that we don't see that in is the wedding business. And I don't know if that's because if a couple have this incredible band for their wedding, it's a huge success. They're absolutely amazing. Selfishly, and I'm looking at on the grid on my right-hand side, and there's three ladies that are all smiling and nodding at this. They don't want their friends to have the same band for their wedding that they had. So in any other business where your referral is kind of a given if you do a great job, it doesn't seem to work for us. So the rule book went out the window for us. And what we decided to do was to take matters into our own hands and find a way of harvesting that data. And we did this by setting up a thing called guest request. And what guest request allows us to do is to create a very, very unique landing page for each client. If, for example, David and Laura are getting married, you'd get guestrequest.co.uk/Dave and Laura, and they would share that URL, and their guests can request songs. And by requesting the song, the artist, and giving us their email address, we've then got their data, which allows us to kind of harvest that, and we can then retrospectively market to them, say, hey, we were that great band that performed at so-and-so's wedding. Here's our link to our website, give us a like on Facebook, etc., etc. So we had to find a really innovative way of getting referral links in an industry where even if you do the most incredible job, people are actually quite slow to wish to refer you to their immediate circle. because they don't want everybody to have the same wedding day that they had. And to this day, I don't think there's another industry where that's the case. The next one is this. That's the slide related to the guest request. The next one is this. The more time that you've invested, the harder it is to walk away. Who agrees with that statement? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Again, it's almost a unanimous thumbs up. And I agree with that. And I think that's very, very true for us as entrepreneurs. But more importantly, we found that it's really, really true of customers. And what we did is we created a piece of software, an app, initially using Typeforms, which is a piece of software that plugs again into Infusionsoft. And what it does is it over a period of about 25 minutes, it asks 50 questions about their musical tastes and their preferences of live music. And it has three purposes. The first one is this. It allows us on an individual level to get to know that customer in a depth that previously we had no idea about their preferences, their desires, their wants, their needs. Secondly, it gives us an overview because we can look at that data in a wider context. But finally, what it does subconsciously, it forces the end user, the lead, the client, to invest a significant amount of time. 25 minutes is a significant amount of time in our product line, in our service, and consequently takes them further down that line in terms of the commitment to buy. And we've been running this now for about 16 months. And when we last quantified this, and it was back in June, we found that there was a 31% increase in conversions from people who had been through the Bandmatch Pro process, and then they went on to buy. 31% higher if they'd been through that process. So there were three kind of huge benefits of that. So in terms of kind of one of the hacks that I wanted to share, that's a real big one. If you can create something that requires your leads to give a firm time commitment to being involved in your follow-up, you will see a significant increase in sales. And actually, that idea came from IKON back in 2016. And there was somebody in one of the breakouts talking about they sold mattresses. And what they did is they invited people to come and spend a night at the showroom. It was like a hotel room set up within the showroom, spend the night on the mattress. And he says it was about a 95% conversion rate because they committed a night of their time. They were so kind of pregnant with the idea that they weren't just going to walk away and say, oh no, that was a waste of a night. We're not having that product. So think about how you can create something in your business that you can sweat like that. Three last things from me before I want to leave you to it. And they're three quick takeaways that I hope are useful to people, things that have changed our game as we've gone. The first one is this: payment plans. You'll remember a gentleman called Gary Vaynerchuk. I heard him in 2016, and he said this. He said, if you're not using payment plans for your business to sell your product or your service, you are missing out on market share. And we thought, okay, this guy seems to know what he's on about. We'll give it a go. And again, what we saw overnight was a 14% increase in sales. Really, really significant. I'm nearly through on time. I've just got two more very, very quick points. The second one is this: learn how to automate people. When we think of automation, we think about getting the computer to do things, to fire emails out, to create digital assets, whatever it may be. But actually, what I found from having a team of really creative people is that they are at their best when they are working within an automation framework. And that can be through tasks, online and offline tasks. It can be through different things. But actually, for a business to scale quickly, as we have done, and the rate at which we scale is quite remarkable, there needs to be a level of automation framework that my staff can feel safe and secure and work within. So look at how you can automate the workflow of your team. To get the best out of them, you need to be able to measure it, and they need to feel safe that what they're doing is within a framework, and it allows them to be more creative within the parameters that you set. So look how you can automate people in your team. And the third takeaway is this: don't listen to the experts. And we've heard from some incredible experts that you must absolutely listen to. But when we bought Infusionsoft, we bought it because we were told it was sales and marketing software. And actually what it's become for us is that not only the heartbeat to our sales and marketing, but actually to the fulfillment of the service that we offer. So I guess the takeaway is that don't limit what Infusionsoft can do by the preamble that you hear from events like this. If you can think of something in your business that you need to do, the odds are that if you work hard enough and you kind of think differently enough, you can probably find out a way that Infusionsoft can do that and take even more of the fulfillment of your business and give you even more time back. I'm conscious I'm just about over time. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope there's some really useful stuff in there. Sorry the PowerPoint didn't, or the keynote didn't work for whatever reason, but hopefully you were able to see it on that. Thank you very much. It's an absolute honor to have been here, and I'm really looking forward to hearing the other finalists. Tyler, thanks ever so much.
All right. Thank you, Ben. That was great stuff. Really, really awesome. Ben, if you'll stop sharing your screen, we're going to move right on. So store all that great information in your head, because at the end of this, you're going to vote, and you want to know, who's got the best presentation here. That was amazing. I hope you're soaking this up like I am. All right. Next, we have, let's go here, Chantel and Mwale Henry. Let's get a little intro here going with them. And then once the video is over, that's when you want to share your screen, guys. So make sure you wait till the video is over, then share your screen, and we'll be off and running, and then I'll start the 20-minute clock. All right, let's go.
I'll never forget what it was like to have such a desire to grow our small publishing business. We knew that it was important to not only be able to deliver an awesome product, but also to be able to get the right people, qualified people into our system so that we could actually make the offer for them to see the value of it. And when we would attend conferences, we would leave with tons and tons of business cards, but really it would take us hours, days, weeks to finally put all of those cards together and the scrap pieces of paper into our CRM. And we realized that we weren't seeing the results that we expected based on the effort of showing up that we thought we should actually receive. My husband looked at me and said, Chantel, the way that we are operating our business is not going to help us grow. We heard Thomas speak on the stage, and he was talking about his experience with Infusionsoft at the time and Keap now. I know that this could take my business to the next level, but I'll tell you, I'm really scared. He said, but I can tell you that once you do implement, then you will see your business grow. And so we got it. And that was the end of last year. And last year we netted close to $30,000 in our business. And this year, we are on track to reach 6 figures, which is very exciting. And I know for a fact it's because we have had the ability to track the leads that we get online, that we get from referrals, and nurture those leads in a way that we haven't been able to do before. And I love it. And I'm so happy that we are part of the community, because when we are in business, one thing that we do know is that we're not in business alone. So thanks for giving us this opportunity to share our story. And we look forward to even bigger, exciting news in the future.
There you go. You're up. Go for it.
The Best Sellers Academy.
We give you a great book strategy.
Break down your story's
anatomy.
Don't be no
author wannabe. Coming up with thoughts frantically.
Don't be your own worst enemy.
Let
fear interrupt your
destiny.
This is the only place you gotta be. Let me hear you shout it.
My story matters to me. My story matters to me. Let me hear you say it.
My story matters
to the whole world. My story matters.
My story matters
to me.
To me.
My story matters.
My story matters.
To
every little boy and girl. You're an author, a speaker, a coach with a dream. Ready to walk, ready to run, ready to live and scale your dreams. All you need is Mwale Chantelle on your team.
Chantel, what you mean? You can write and sell your books even in quarantine. Your story matters to me. My story matters.
My story matters.
To
the whole world.
My story matters to me.
To me.
My story matters.
My story matters.
To
every little boy and girl.
Your story matters, John.
Your story matters, Heather.
Your story matters, Scott.
Your story matters, Nick.
Your story matters, Morton.
Your story matters, Jade.
Your story matters, Ken.
Your story matters, Morton.
Your story matters, Nick.
Your story matters, Karen.
Your story matters, Richard.
Your story matters, Lindy.
Your story matters. Come on, let me see those shoulders. Come on, guys. Come on. Hey.
Hey. Looking great. That's awesome.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. We are so excited to be a part of this event. We're about to share our screen. I want to thank you all for just being here, being in this space, and being able to find out what it is that really allows you to scale your business in such a significant way. Why did we start off with that story? Your story matters. This was the lead magnet that we did on stage at live events and also during live stream events that brought massive success to our business. So Scott talked about it before, and I want to remind all of you as business leaders, you want to create an experience, an unforgettable experience that leads people to begin to think that there's something on the end and I want to be a part of it, because the world of entrepreneurship is already burdensome. And the people who are coming to you, they are looking for a problem that you solve and a desire that you create. And great businesses discover both. So we want to go straight into our presentation. We're going to share our screen.
I think we need permission to share a screen.
Yeah, it says host disabled participant sharing screen. So we need that permission, and we go straight into the presentation. All right, beautiful.
Awesome. So just give us a thumbs up, letting us know that you can see our screen. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Jade.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome. So we're in Mwale, and I'm Chantelle, and we are the Chief Visionary Officers of the Best Selling Academy. And today is not about us. It's actually about how we have implemented the 4 Ps of possibility to grow our business by 300% in the middle of a global pandemic, and how you can use those strategies too to grow your business.
All right. So just some quick background. We've helped over 1,375 individuals to become international best-selling authors. We've coached over 6,000 clients, and we grew our business over 300% during a global pandemic. And it wasn't always like this. The first P for the 4 Ps of possibilities process. There was a time where we just didn't know where to start. We didn't have a system. We had a business idea, but we were everywhere. How many of you were there before, where you were just everywhere? You had an idea. Just show by a raise of hands. You had an idea, Jade, but just you didn't have an automated system to take you through that process. So Keap gave us a system. And as we know, systems help you save yourself time, effort, money, and stress. All right, so before customization of invoices for each client.
Yes, that was such a headache. Like, we were using a very popular software, we won't say it, because I was too scared to use Keap at first. And then my husband, he kept coming back from these conferences saying, Chantel, no, I heard about this really good tool, we should use it. And I was like, no, I'm too scared. Like, sometimes, how many of you have been there? Let me know I'm not alone, that chaos can sometimes be a strategy, right? But it prevents you from getting to the next best version that that you're supposed to be at. And so while we were trying to customize every invoice for clients, we would have to wait for them to pay. And therefore we were unable to scale our business.
And then there was no way of tracking those leads, following up with those leads. But we had an experience with Keap where we were able to take those payments in automation, and not just in automation, but it was something that, for those of you who are in business, I have the unique pleasure of being in business with my wife. And for the husbands who are in business with your wives, or you are in a partnership, it's important to know the different hats that you wear. So because we weren't able to track and have a proper system, many times when I would come in the office, my wife, she is a CEO of operations, and we're looking at the systems that we are putting together. And when I talk to her and I begin to ask questions, I'm wearing what is called the black hat. And wearing the black hat, she knows, okay, it's the CEO talking, because sometimes if I don't have this black hat on and I'm asking, okay, where's this lead? Where are we at? Man, she gets either angry or annoyed. So even though we leave even though we leave the home office, I'm not getting dinner on time, she's quiet with me. So I will literally put on the black hat, and she know, okay, it's time to generate the reports, so that I could see exactly what's happening. Before Keap, there was no reports, there was no systems. So then in order for her to cook dinner, I had to put on the fun hat. And in putting on the fun hat, she realized, okay, this is Mwale, the husband, that is talking to her. So no longer do I have to switch hats, because Keap allows me to put these hats away. And now we have a system that brings that type of automation for us.
Absolutely. I mean, it saved not only us time, energy, and money, but it saved us our marriage. We have a product suite now. Before, where we only could focus on 1 or 2 products because we weren't organized in our payment structure. Now we have about 4 products, and they are leveraging some really incredible results in our business. And also about the payment plans. We've been able to use payment plans to make our high ticket items achievable and realistic for others to participate in.
All right, so then let's go straight. So this is an example of the process that we took during in how do we track those types of small wins, and more so when we look at the product suite, we were able to see within the sales funnels that we created, step by step, what's the client journey that we were creating for that client, so that we know at each interval, because they came in the funnel with an experience, how do we create that experience and track that experience?
Yes, and also we never want to leave someone behind, because our mission is that we believe that every great story should be told. And so we would talk to people, meet them at conferences, and really they would not be able to get started for whatever reason. But how many of you have been there? You have a desire in your heart, you want to do something powerful in the world, but maybe it's just not the right time. And so we knew in our hearts we didn't want to leave anyone behind, but Keap gave us that system to say, okay, this is a way to track it. So we set up a nurturing sequence where 12 months, if a person was either on the fence, couldn't do business with us right now, they would still hear from us. They'll know our stories, they'll see our faces, because the more you touch, as you know, McDonald's has been around for a bunch of years, but yet they still are in your face about, their double cheeseburger with the special sauce, because they want to be ever present when you are marketing. You want to be that ever present face that people can connect to when they're ready to pick up the phone and say yes. And that's exactly what happened actually last month. One of the clients who had been on our list for a year, we sent her an email, one of our automated emails, and she hopped on a conference that we were just doing. And she's like, I'm ready to take action. I was on the fence for a year. I thought about it, but now I want to do business with you. And I want you to write my book. Thankfully, the reason why she got that automated message, because she was on our nurture campaign and she was in our future commitment, she had a tag. And I tell Mwale, I said, listen, baby, tags equal money bags. Let me tell you. So if you don't have tags, listen, get those immediately, because she had a future commitment tag. We were able to say, let's invite her to this free webinar so that she could be a part of the conversation. And who knows, she may or may not act, but she most certainly did. And that was a $20,000 sale that we were able to make just a couple of days ago.
So our second P is partnerships, and partnerships is what we want you as an entrepreneur to continuously think about. Partnerships means equals possibilities. Before Keap, we had 0 joint ventures, and we were constantly hunting for clients. And that revenue wheel, we did not create that type of ecosystem for our business. So we were constantly hunting and gathering, and then going back out to hunt and to gather. But now Keap allowed us to think more strategically of how do you create a system that nurtures, an ecosystem that nurtures for you. I remember starting off in this business, being able to be successful in this season, especially during a pandemic, it wasn't always like this. When I started to think about the vision of helping people to craft stories and to craft their messages, I would constantly be traveling to go to conferences. And we all know to travel to conferences, there's a cost. And, because of that cost and where we were in our business, my wife couldn't travel with me, so I would go. But when I go to that conference, I couldn't even pay for a hotel room. So there were 2 things I did. I rented a car and I got a Planet Fitness gym membership. Now that gym membership wasn't for me to work out during the conference. It was so that I could just shower at the end of that conference and I would go and sleep in my car. I remember sleeping in that car. My feet would swell so much because of that constant just sleeping in that car, heading to the conference, looking for leads, trying to grow a business. But now with Keap, I've been able to help to nurture and leverage that experience where during the pandemic, I'm spending less time and scaling my business at unbelievable levels.
Yeah.
So, when we think about Keap, it is really about that shift of how do you nurture and have that exponential increase in the experience of your client, because you want to keep that client in that ecosystem, you know, like Apple, right? You started with the Apple Watch, you started with the iPad, the laptop, they keep in that ecosystem. By the time you finish their product suites, there's a new version coming out. And that Keap has allowed us to think systematically, how do you create those types of partnerships, creating that type of leverage through partnerships. So, you know, this is something that's so amazing even for us in this season.
Absolutely. So we recently closed a phenomenal partnership with one of the top motivational speakers in the world, Lisa Nichols. She was one of the breakout authors on The Secret. And what's incredible about this is that now, because we have the ability to partner, we have been attracting our ideal clients effortlessly. You know, what is really powerful is that, you know, we are able to leverage the credibility of those who we know play on the same playground with us, but instead of attending their conferences and trying to network and get contacts and leads, now they are comfortable doing business with us because they have a way to track. They have an understanding that we are professional, right? Because they can see the reports in the back office. They have their own username and login. They can see how many sales came in. And this was a phenomenal step. Like, we didn't even know the pandemic was going to happen last year when we signed up, and, you know, with that deep breath in our belly, we were like, okay, we're going to do this. We didn't know that it would be pivoting us for this type of environment where now we scale when other businesses are closing down. And I want you to know that it's possible, because if you don't take anything else away from this session, I want you to take this away. And that is, success is not a matter of time. It is truly a matter of team. Success is not a matter of time, it's a matter of team. And here's what, Lisa is just one of those team members that we partner with, but I consider Keap being a team member as well. I mean, it's nothing like, well, before I go into that, this is one of the lead capture pages that we use to get incredible results from that one partnerships. We had a domain, have it still, tellmystorynow.com, and we were able to send people a free gift. When those folks came, because of our presentation, we got over 250 leads, and they're actually still coming in. Those leads, we had a 70% conversion on that, which netted us $47,000 in sales in 48 hours. So I want you to know, even with a simple structure, it is possible. And when I tell you about a team, I believe that Keap is part of our team. I mean, those late nights and early mornings as an entrepreneur, it would not have been possible and functional if I did not have the ability to call Keap and ask them, okay, did I set up my campaign right? You know, before when we had other software, we would even be able to get on the phone and talk to anyone. We would have to, you know, type in a chat box. I know some of you can relate, right? These companies get
right,
a little—
Morton, you know what we're talking about.
You know how it is, right? You're up at night trying to get your pages together and get your contacts in order. And then you're like, I'm stuck. Who can help? And then 10 minutes passes by before you hear from a person on the chat box. Don't think about getting their number. It won't work. So Keap has been very awesome. One phone call away. And that is what true customer service is about. So I believe that Keap is really our business buddy. That's what I call it.
And the third P is profitability. You know, we saw that in leveraging Keap as our business partner in this process, we were able to track. You know, we were able to track some of the changes. We were able to test. We were able to test, because what's not documented doesn't get done. And when we document that type of a serious flow, we're able to see that in the system that Keap provides allows us to track what has been that change and what needs to change. Because, you know, as business leaders, we don't want to make decisions just by instinct. You know, what are the numbers? What do the numbers say? I want to, you know, encourage you to look at that numbers, look at the testing, do the split testing, and that definitely leads you to the type of profitability that you're looking for in your business.
Absolutely.
Let's go to the next slide.
So this was us just last year. We have 2 babies, Princeton and Genesis. And at the time, both babies were under 3 years old. And so, you know, what was really important for us is to make sure that we were still able to show up and be present for those people who invested in us to write and publish their books. And so we realized very quickly is that if it's not measured, then it cannot be managed. And so our playbook showed us that you have to have a clear understanding of your client fulfillment process. If not, then your clients will have a very not so good experience, and they won't give you the proper referrals that will help take your business to the next level. And so we realized very quickly that it was important for us to use and use Keap in such a way that we could keep track of those clients who were depending on us.
And the fourth P will be purpose. So this is our purpose. For many of us, what fuels your business experience should yes, the profitability aspect, but what causes you to keep going forward and pushing forward where you are thinking of stopping is that why. And our son, Princeton, as my wife was saying, he's 3, and our daughter, she's 2.5, going on 2, and they have been our why. And with using Keap, we have been moving from that place before, spending time fixing broken systems constantly, unsure if our business would work, should we give up, on the dream and go get a real job, because we've been hearing that chatter all the time, do you have a job, go get a job, and we've been just keep trying to find ourselves as entrepreneurs. But this has allowed us, to move from that place of confusion and inertia to now a place of clarity.
And even more so, and Mwale and I, we built our lives on the idea that it's not so much about being successful as it is about being significant. So when it was difficult for us to be able to give and be generous, we were like, okay, how are we going to do this? Because that is the core, that's our nature, is wanting to give more than we actually get. And so we were thankful that when we implemented these things to scale our business, we were then able, to have clients pay on time, right? So our income was more predictable. Payment plans allowed them to be able to pay in such a way that it was honoring to their situation as well, while not compromising our business. So it's just been incredible. We were even able to increase our giving. So, you look at these percentages and you're like, wait, what is that even equal to? So if in 1 year we were able to give $1,000 worth of support to people in need, our business now, we're able to give 3,400% increase in giving, which is phenomenal because there are so many folks who are depending on us.
Yeah, so at the Bestsellers Academy, for us, it's really important where we are now in a place because of Keap, where we are not just growing a profit-based business, but a purpose-based business. And I know many of you, as you are building your business, one of the greatest desire that you want is to really live in that place of purpose. So we definitely saw a decrease in the time that we began spending in the office, where we're based in Atlanta, and now we can be able to do the type of support and entrepreneurship work in Trinidad, in the Caribbean, and we've been able, personally, just to pay off, $25,000 in our mortgage. We got a property here in Trinidad, and then we were able to donate over 3,000 face masks. We were able to give over $26,000 worth in groceries, and
that was this year during the pandemic.
And really to support the community. So because of that type of experience and hard business and space that we're in, I want to encourage you, if you're in the content creation, people, they aren't excited about just the results that you produce, but it's a story and the dream that you're creating. And as we tell that story to our clients and customers, they've seen through our process, 5% of the proceeds of what they participate in our program goes towards hard work. So we have people who aren't just raving clients, but they are rallying for a purpose. So, so they are staying connected. And even though we are not in touch in person because of the automation of our business, when they see us, first thing they say, I got your email. How's Johnny going? How's Kim going? Because there's a face to the success. So I want you to think about that. How do you tie and weave that golden thread of that story in your business, where it's not just a transaction, but it's a transformational experience?
Absolutely. So this was exciting. I do hope that you all learn tremendous amounts that it's possible. You know, the 4 P's of possibility lets us know that there's no, we're taking the mystery out of the magic, right? Sometimes we get so bombarded with the trainings that we're learning and the coaches and the gurus and the this and the that. But our story lets you know that this is absolutely duplicatable. You don't have to have any special skills in order to do it. Listen, get a business buddy, call customer service and let them help you as they've helped us. And just beyond mission and beyond purpose, we believe that, you know, good people are supposed to do good. Because when good people do good, they do more good in the world. And Jonathan, you are a good person. Brett, Chris, you are a good person. Jade, you are a good person. And there are folks who are depending on you, who need to hear from you. So don't wait, share your story and use all of the tools that you have before you. It's just a matter of team, not a matter of time.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, good job. I got to cut you off here. We're a little over time. So great job. That was awesome. Chantel and Mwale bringing the fire to the contest here. Thank you guys so much. You did a great job. All right, we're moving right on next to Evan Paquette, otherwise known as Magic Evan. I am going to mention, though, before we start his video and let him roll, we are a little over on time, actually a lot over on time. Sorry about that. So we're going to make 2 adjustments. Right after our finalists are finished here, we're going to end this Zoom and then pretty much immediately, like a minute or 2 later, start up the next Zoom for Justin Miller's session on offline meets online, which is a really important session you've got to attend. That'll be the last session for the day. What that means is we didn't have time to go visit vendors and networking and stuff like that. We're going to leave that stuff open all day tomorrow. Okay. So you have all day tomorrow to go connect with vendors and network and all that kind of stuff. And so, you know, we want to make sure you have that time. So we'll make that little adjustment, but let's turn the time over to Evan. First, Evan, we're going to roll your little video. Once the video is done, then you go ahead and share your screen and you'll have 20 minutes. Ready, go.
That obstacle in my way, maybe it's there to prevent me from moving forward, or maybe it's there to help me see another way through. Hey, it's Evan, and while I can't tell you the secret to that trick, I can tell you the secret to a lot of my personal and professional growth and development over the years has been Keap. Using Keap, I created an automated sales and follow-up sequence that allowed me to grow my company from $50,000 a year to well over $100,000 a year. When the pandemic hit in March 2020 and all events were canceled, I was able to reimagine my campaigns and pivot to virtual events. Since then, I performed for over 300 events, brought joy, connection, and wonder to families all around the world, and I'm on track to the most profitable year yet. Thank you so much, Keap. Without you, there'd be no magic.
Hey, Keap family, it's so good to see you all here. My name is Evan Paquette, or Magic Evan, the owner of Magic Evan LLC, and I want to kick it off by asking everybody here a favor. If you could please think of a number between 1 and 13. And when you have your number, give me a thumbs up. Just think of your number. Don't say it out loud. Just give me a thumbs up to let me know that you are thinking of a number. Let's see here. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Hey, Kristen, what's your name?
Hey, Kristen.
Hey, Kristen, so nice to meet you. You're thinking of a number, yes?
Yes.
Okay, this number is going to impact how my presentation goes. So on 3, just say it out loud. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. What's the number you're thinking of?
12.
12. Interesting. Okay, the number is 12. 12 in the deck of cards. 10, Jack, Queen. That's a queen. Do you want it to be a red queen or a black queen?
Red.
A red queen. And should it be the Queen of Diamonds or the Queen of Hearts?
Hearts.
Queen of Hearts. Okay, let's take out the Queen of Hearts. Let's see here. There's the Queen of Hearts. I'm going to put the Queen of Hearts right over here so you can see it later. Now, I said that the card that you chose was going to impact how my presentation went. If you said the 3 of Diamonds, we would have stopped. You said the 3 of Spades, we would have stopped. 9 of Hearts, not the Queen of Hearts, we would have stopped. Maybe it's just those on the front. No, it's this one on the back too. That's a stop, 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 stop. But of course, you didn't choose any one of these. You chose this card. And because we're a member of the Keap family, we're going to keep going. Thank you so much, Kristen. Let's give Kristen some love. Yay, Kristen. Thank you so much. Awesome. All right, I'm going to share my screen here and jump right in. This is my presentation. The title is Abracadabra, How I Use Infusionsoft to Turn Challenges into Opportunities and Keep Delivering Joy, Wonder, and Connection around the world. A little bit of a story and also an invitation to see yourself, this story that I tell. I always know about automation. Yes, or can anyone else relate? Yeah, when I started performing magic 20 years ago, in fact, I thought it was David Copperfield. I wasn't very savvy, and I had a mismatch of spreadsheets and Post-it notes. It was a chaotic mess. I was making about $50,000 a year, and if I'm honest, I was working more in my business than on my business. 20 hours alone was on email. And then my world changed. On June 19th, 2015, my son was born. There he is. And the moment I held him, I felt complete. I knew the kind of husband and father that I wanted to be. If you can relate to how stressful it is to choose between business and your family, give me a thumbs up. Absolutely. Yeah. How overwhelming it can be when you have leads and emails that you have to respond to, and you also have the family that you want to do. And if I'm also honest, I wasn't playing full out. And so something had to change in order for me to be the kind of father and husband that I needed to be. That change was Infusionsoft. Quick preview of what happened when I chose Infusionsoft. I got laser focused on my purpose, which is to bring families and communities together through entertainment experiences that deliver joy, wonder, and connection. I want people to feel what I felt when I held my son for the first time, whatever they're celebrating a wedding or a birthday or whatever special occasion they're feeling. In that first year of using Infusionsoft, I doubled my income to $100,000. Over the next 9 years, I appeared on television shows like Universal Kids and at over 3,000 live events, and I've earned a reputation as one of the best magician kids in New York City. And then the world changed again. Just when I thought everything was figured out, the pandemic hit Friday, March 13th, 2020, the Friday the 13th. There was this big fill in the blank because live events were canceled, Broadway shut down. But here's the thing: when there's a fill in the blank, the role when you fill in the blank is to fill it in with the best possible answer. Best possible answer for me has always been to fill spaces and lives with joy and wonder and connection. And so that's what I did. I did a free show on Facebook Live and who supported me over the years. And to some surprise, it was seen by over 1,000 families all around the world. Because of that, I started creating content, blog posts and daily school guides, and a trick of the week where parents leave a free magic lesson via email every Monday. And it teaches them and their kids a special trick that they do to share that quality time together. Because of the content I was creating, a reporter spotted me from Business Insider, and they featured me in an article on birthday parties. Because of that article and everything else that I'm doing, I've done over 300 events to date, and clients include the NFL, First Republic Bank, Equitable Financial, HDI Global, and so many more. It blows my mind. And then summer approached, and this was supposed to be my son's first summer camp experience. And just the thought that it wouldn't be as fun, as exciting and magical as my camp experiences were, it broke my heart. And so I created Virtual Magic Camp. Virtual Magic Camp was 10 tools. They got access to a membership portal, 2 live Q&As. Every kid got my magic set in the mail. It culminated 2 weeks with virtual magic show with me, and all the campers had an opening act opportunity where they my opening act, and it was seen by 50 campers all across the country. It was amazing. Because I kept going, because I kept serving, I had the opportunity to keep growing. Of course, the most profitable year, but more importantly, the most purposeful. And I've had the chance to deliver previously unimaginable levels of joy, love, connection. So Keap made all this possible, Infusionsoft by Keap. And so without further ado, let's open the playbook. 3 of my most successful plays I want to share with you will go behind the scenes. Magicians don't often let you go behind the scenes. I'll share some of my automations and the metrics so you can see what's working. So the first one, this is one of my favorites. Every lead that comes through my website gets personalized video from me, often within minutes. And to do this, I'm going to use Infusionsoft plus an app called Bonjoro. So I'll mention, Keap family, you're searching a magician. You find Magic Evan. Within minutes, you receive an email that says, hey, I just recorded a message, check it out. And this is what you see. Awesome. And so here's the behind the scenes automation. When someone goes into through my website, they opt in, automatically tagged, and that tag is picked up by Bonjoro, and it triggers a task in their app. You literally click on their name and you shoot a little video with your cell phone, and they take care of the delivery and the formatting, and there's no embedding or coding, and it is great. Here's the metrics here. What's happening here? We've got a 77% open rate on these videos, which is awesome. During the video, I always make sure to send another email with the packages and everything. If for some reason that email doesn't get seen or is spam or gets lost in the shuffle, they can go searching for it, or like, hey, I never got that. It also helps build that know, like, and trust factor. Now I'm performing for events from San Diego to Singapore and everywhere in between. And to get a personalized video from a New York City magician, which apparently is a big deal, it's really cool. It's some people have said it feels like getting a video from a celebrity, where they're so touched. And you get responses like, hey, Evan, what a love video. Thank you. I'll email you back, but just wanted to say thanks for this. It's so shiny. Yeah. And then, whoa, I've never such a personal response inquiry. Evan, you're awesome. We're seeing out today. So I love these personalized posts. Second play is an automated follow-up and a phone chat invite. And so leads receive a consistent campaign of useful information with automated and personalized follow-up, and plus an invitation to do a quick phone chat and create a personalized entertainment experience. So for this, I'm using Infusionsoft. I'm using Zapier and Calendly. Just a quick view of the sequence. It's 6 emails separated by delay timers, and we won't go through all of the emails, but I want to give you a peek at one of the emails. If they don't book me on the first one, this is the second email that they receive the next day. Hey, I just followed up on the email from the other day in case it got lost in cyberspace. I'm really excited to learn about your party on your date. Are you still looking for a children's magician? Click here to schedule a convenient time to chat, and we can find out the right match for your event. Thanks, and I look forward to hearing from you. And then, yes, I don't want to bug you if you've made other arrangements, so apply, let me know before you. And then PPS, you can check out the 8 questions you should ask before booking an magician here. So all roads lead to Magic Evan, right? Whether they scheduled a phone chat, or whether they're not sure yet and they just need some more information, they're still making up their mind, or they learn about the things they should be asking when they're searching for a professional family entertainer. When they schedule a phone chat, this is the Zapier integration. Someone schedules the call, contact is updated in Infusionsoft, tag is added, and this tag triggers this phone chat email. So they don't just schedule the phone call, they schedule the call, and then they get this email. And I use psychological triggers in this email to stack the odds in my favor and help them make a decision to book for. Of course, it's never going to trick anyone to buy or buy from you, but can stack the odds in your favor. So first, I start off by building trust, telling them when I'm going to call them. And I joke and say, hey, I'm like Rain Man and we'll be on time. And I make sure that I'm on the dot. When the clock strikes the time, their phone rings, and I get a lot of laughs Like, wow, you are Rain Man. So the next one is scarcity. If I'm still available for your date and showtime, I'll ask you some questions about your event and listen to your answers. Want to know just gently that just because they scheduled a phone call doesn't necessarily mean that their event is going to be booked or that I'm the right fit, or we're seeing if I'm the right match during this call. Here's what to do before our call. And so I have an attached PDF at the bottom of the email that asks them some questions about their event, ask them what has worked, what has not worked, if they could wave a magic wand and have anyone saying something at the end of the event, what would that be? And it's really helpful information so that I can personalize their experience, but also to get them thinking about the event adds that level of commitment and consistency. People like to be consistent with their thoughts and beliefs and actions. So if they imagine me at their event, just tilts this to my favor just a little bit of social proof, links to Facebook, Yelp, and Gig Salad. And then I'm building authority by pointing them towards my blog where I write about other events that I perform for, and reciprocity, because a lot of the blog posts ideas for their own event. And so it's like I'm giving something, and the intention is that the inclination is when someone gives you something, return the favor. So using those psychological triggers there, and yeah, that alone just blows people away. So here's the metrics. There's a 12.9 conversion rate. People who go through this sequence, it saves me at least 10 hours a week. It saves a lot of going back and forth and deciding, am I available, am I not available? A lot of questions, and most importantly, gets me worry-free family time. For me, is just price. Reviews like this from a team building event did for LinkedIn. It's the director of customer experience said he was really impressed by his professionalism, as well as the time that I took to schedule and understand the needs and customize the experience. And if the director of customer experience feels that way, imagine how a parent would feel going through this process, booking their child seat. All right, third and final thing I want to share with you is my pre-show funnel. And this is the funnel where I deliver before it's expected. I find that once people expect you booked it, and then the entertainer disappears, but I like to deliver all the way through. And I continue to find with surprise, delight, and optional services that support their event. So as soon as someone books the tasks are triggered in Infusionsoft. So Keap, you booked my show, awesome. I got to ask, I need to send you a confirmation. I also need to send you my magic set. Here's my magic there. And then 40 days before our event, you're going to receive this email, which is going to have your name, and it's going to say that this date is on my mind, and just say that I woke up this morning and started laughing at this idea I had. It's the perfect topper to an already hilarious routine, and it's going to love it. Just know that I'm going to arrive with a show that delivers more fun, laughter, and happy memories than ever before. Let me know if you need anything. And just staying top of mind and letting them know that I'm thinking of them, and as the approach is. Then 21 days before they get an 50% discount on their party favors for their child. And this email is just classic problem solution. Hey, I hear stories about parents getting stressed out leading up to the party, getting party together, and I have a solution for you. Add a bit of social proof, followed call to action, and yeah, that's really helpful to parents. And then a week before the event, they get an email that says, "Hey, I'm so excited." And again, just refer back to the email that sent you the confirmation, so you know when to start, the link, and all that stuff. And then the day before, 3 days before the event, they get some tips of how to make their experience really run smoothly and just have the best time possible. So I've adapted for virtual events. When I was doing in-person events, this looked differently, but just a couple of tips. And at the end, I invite everyone to tag me. So that's a really powerful email there. And then a day before the event, I just say, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you. And when it's a virtual event, they get the link, just in case they've lost the link or they're not sure. And it's an in-person event, that's where their address is. All right, So here's the automation. There's the creating the tasks. I'm surprising them with a magic kit. I'm delighting them by saying, hey, I'm thinking of them. They get the offer, some quick reminders, continuing serve up until the party, and then a see you tomorrow. So what does this look like? What are the measures, the result here? We've got hundreds of 5-star reviews from this process. Of course, you need to have a good product and you have to have the good show, but this sequence really blows it out of the water before and show up at the event. Saves a lot of time, and it's correlated with 80% of my business that's repeat customers and referrals. But what's next for Magic Evan? Here's a quick preview. I intend to keep growing by running winter and spring sessions of virtual Magic Camp, building on our success from last summer. I'm going to keep serving by finding and helping other entrepreneurs, artists, creatives reimagine their businesses in fulfilling and exciting ways. And I want to keep moving forward by finding new ways to bring joy, wonder, and action to events all around the world. Thank you so much. I just want to leave you with one more thing. Thank you, guys.
All right, Evan, way to go. Is my audio live? Yeah, we're good? Yeah. All right, thanks, Evan. That was awesome. Great stuff. Really, really good presentation. I'm super pumped for these presentations. We got one more left. Sandy, we're going to go to you. Give me just one sec. We are going to roll your video. As soon as the video's done, you share your slides, you get going, you got 20 minutes. And then, like I said, as soon as Sandy's over, we're going to turn this Zoom off. Give us about 2 minutes. We're going to turn the next one back on that you can click on right on the field. And we'll get you right into Justin Miller's presentation on offline meets online. It's going to be a great end to the evening. Also, once Sandy's done, you can go to the field. And before you get into that next Zoom, go ahead and vote. You'll be able to vote for these contestants right there on the field. All right, Sandy, let's roll your video, and then you're up. 20 minutes.
I was actually Sandy Spin Slade. I used to do tricks with basketballs for a living, and my passion was getting kids to enjoy being physically active. And so that's what I did by creating Skillastics. We make it easy to motivate, engage, and organize children to move, learn, and absolutely love it. Most of the leads that we got were through going to conferences and putting on workshops. A lot of work involved in that, a lot of expense. And so I knew that we had to find a streamlined way of being able to get in front of people. So I reached out to Daniel Bushes of Built by Love Agency, a certified partner of Infusionsoft by Keap, and I asked him if he could help us. And right away he said he could. And you know what? At first I was skeptical because he kept on saying this is going to be amazing for your business. So I just didn't really know. And he explained to me about Infusionsoft and how we could create a customer's journey through videos and through lead magnets, etc. Within 3 months, our sales grew 30%. And we were on track for 2020 to be our best year yet. But the problem was the pandemic hit. And we have a product that works in schools for large groups of kids to be moving at one time. It wasn't going to work during the pandemic. So I had to quickly switch gears. And what I ended up doing was creating virtual physical activity programs. And we're on the radar through Infusionsoft. We're making more money than we even dreamed possible. We've become more efficient, more effective, and we're making more money. So thank you very much. Hello, everyone. So nice to be here. I'm honored to be a finalist with the Business of the Year and with being able to have the opportunity to share about my company and the wonderful experiences that I've had with Keap and how they've made me successful. So it's just awesome to be here. So I'm going to get right started right away here. I want to talk about my story. I mentioned it at the beginning, but I want to reiterate again, you know, just what we're going to be talking about for the next 20 minutes. Hey, I was an entertainer. I'll get into that a little bit about my passion about Skillastics and how they intertwined, but also realizing what the change that we had. We needed a change because we've been in business for almost 20 years. And then our customer journey with Built by Love and of course Keap that has helped make us successful. And then you look at the pandemic and how we had to pivot and also our future. So I got started. When I was 12 years old, I went to a basketball camp and I saw a lady put on a show spinning and dribbling basketballs. When I saw that lady, I said, that is what I want to do with my life. So I went home and I said to my mom and dad, I want to spin basketballs for a living. Now I'm sure they laughed, thinking, you know, this probably is going to last for about a week. But by my junior year in high school, I was performing. And I mean, it was just amazing. I went to college. And when I went to college, I got a degree in communications because I knew I wanted to do a lot of speaking with my performing. I just knew that was what I wanted to do. And when I graduated from college, I hit the road and started performing. I was blessed enough to be able to do this for 22 years professionally, performing at NBA games, halftimes, all over the world. But there's something called getting older. And I realized in my mid-30s, I can't keep doing this forever. So I had to think about something else that I was passionate about. And that was getting kids to have a positive experience being physically active. And so a PE teacher asked me if I would put on a workshop teaching basketball fundamentals to PE teachers. And I did. And I started doing these workshops all over the country. And I listened to their concerns. How do you get so many kids to enjoy working on the basics of basketball? And how do you get the kids that are intimidated by the competitive nature of the sport to enjoy the sport? So then I thought about what can I do? And I came up with Skillastics. I'll get into that a little bit, but I want to show you just a quick video, embarrassing pictures of me when I was younger, but kind of like the little journey from performing up to Skillastics. So here it is. So that gives you a little idea of my journey from entertainer to creating Skillastics. So what is Skillastics? It's a physical activity resource that makes it easy to organize, motivate, engage kids to move, learn, and absolutely love it. The program was designed over a specific technique of play that I created, where up to 100 children can play at one time. I created 14 different versions, varying from general fitness to sports skill development to social emotional learning, character development, and also academic integration. As I mentioned before, we've been in business for almost 20 years, and over 25,000 schools and after-school programs now use our program nationwide and actually worldwide. And this gives you a quick little view of all the kids that are playing our products, so you get a visual of what it actually does. problem. We've been at this for a lot of years. The way that we got our leads are through conferences. Majority of the conferences that we went to, the same people went to the same conferences all the time. So we saw the same people. We weren't getting any new leads. So they'd come to our workshops, they'd come talk to us at our exhibit booth, but we were seeing the same people. It became saturated. And, you know, we did 30 to 40 conferences a year. That became very, very time consuming, took a lot to organize, and it was expensive. We also needed more in our database. We were just seeing the same people, so our database wasn't growing. We needed another way to market our products. So we needed to find an efficient, more streamlined strategy of getting in front of people. So a colleague of mine told me about Built by Love, a certified Keap agent, and Daniel Bushes. And I went up to Daniel, contacted him and told him about our problems. And he said, you know what, I can absolutely help you. He listened to me and he told me, you know what, let me tell you about Infusionsoft by Keap and how they can create a customer journey for you through video emails and lead magnets, et cetera, et cetera. I had no idea about this. I had seen emails before from people and I always wondered how they did that, but I really didn't know how to do it. And he said he could help me. So I hired him to create a marketing strategy for us. And, you know, as I said, it almost sounded too good to be true because he said, you know what, this is going to change your business. And you know what, I put my trust in him and it all sounded great. So what I want you to do now is I want Daniel, because he's the one that helped me put this together, to be able to tell you a little bit more of the specifics of how we used Infusionsoft by Keap.
How's it going, everybody? Can you all hear me? Can I get a yes in the chat just to make sure my microphone's on? Yeah. Okay, cool. So first, I want to say we are super blessed. All of us are blessed that we have the opportunity to have Keap in our lives and in our businesses. And when Sandy came to me and she said, hey, we have a business. We've been in business for almost 20 years. And we help keep kids out of trouble. We get them active. They feel great about themselves and they actually do better in school. Can you help us? This is a no-brainer. Of course we're going to help you. Like, are you kidding me? This is an amazing story. You're changing the lives of the future of our generations, our children and everything. So what we did is we used our trademark process, and I'll go briefly into it. And then I'm going to show you the campaigns. I'm going to show you exactly what we did. So the key to success in whatever you're doing is not getting super fancy and super technical with a lot of integrations and things like that. That's not how we do things. And it's really, the success is here, is you got to figure out who you're going after, who your ideal customers are. And once you know who your ideal customers are, you have to know how you're going to talk to them. So having the right tonality and the right message. So we crafted her brand voice. And then more importantly, now that you know how to communicate with them, you have to have a differentiator of why your business, why your brand is better than everybody else. Because in the world of technology and the internet age, there's a lot of options out there. And so you have to have that differentiator. Then what we did is we mapped out her customer journey. And that's the critical stages that you move through to get them to go from one point to the next, all the way through not only just purchasing, but way through all of that too, through customer delight and through testimonials and through repurchasing and all the other things. So once you have those things in place, then you actually start to build. And that's exactly the process we did. And of course, what you're going to want to do, especially if you want something that's pandemic proof, is you have to infuse points of delight. They have to absolutely love the experience all the way through, from prospect to customer. So we then infused points of delight through all of her campaigns, copy, and the experiences all the way through. And then finally, of course, you have to then create your supporting assets, whether those are videos, lead magnets, or anything else. And if you could go to the next slide. And so this is just a quick screenshot of our process. So we mapped out the customer journey. And then before we build an Infusionsoft or Keap, we actually map out the entire campaign, the cadence, the delays, the assets, the sequences, what we're going to talk about. So then we have a master plan, a blueprint to then build from. So it's kind of like building a house, right? You just don't go to Home Depot and buy a bunch of lumber and nails and start building. You have to have a blueprint. And that's exactly what we did for her right there. We mapped out the stage, measured the success, everything. And then the next thing, of course, part of that process, you can go to the next slide, Sandy, is we map out, of course, the customer, the ideal customers. And then one of the things we did, because I think it's really important, especially in the digital age, is have a human touch. And so we scripted out videos for her, and then we shot videos for her. A lot of really, really simple videos, not fancy ones, but then we infused those videos throughout every single campaign and stage. And if we move to the next slide, I'll start to show you some of that stuff. So this is one of the campaigns. And one of the things that we did for Sandy is we wanted to make sure she wasn't in the product building all the time or having to worry about those campaigns and what they're doing and making changes. So when we built her entire system, the entire system runs by itself. All the core campaigns, all the core things, purchases, not purchased, did you download, did you not click on those things? All of the stages throughout the entire customer journey are fully automated. And so that's one of the key things that really drove for her to success is once we built this, they didn't have to go back and mess with it again. So let's go to the next slide. And so one of the other things that we did is we made sure right in the beginning when people are coming into her world is we're giving them the opportunity to segment based off of their pain point or their primary goal of, hey, you're in our world, but why are you in our world? Because once you let us know, we're going to immediately deliver the right communication, the right value, and the right offer at the right time. Just like humans would be having a conversation in real life, we made her system be just like how humans interact. And we also had a default stage. So if you didn't choose one of them, we would then roll you into a default and then make the assumption of, okay, well, you're kind of looking for both of these things. And then we delivered offers and we delivered content and videos all along the customer journey based off of those segmentations, which empowered her and her sales team to understand who wants what, how do you communicate with them, where are your traction of metrics, and where are the things that are converting that are working for. So entire database right out of the gate gets segmented. We can go to the next one. And so what we did, as I kind of elaborated to, is we infused customer delight in video along every campaign stage. And I'll show you a couple more a little bit later. And so if you opt in, right after you opt in, you get a thank you video. Hey, this is Sandy Slade, the founder of Skillastics. I want to thank you for taking your time to opt in. We're going to deliver value, blah, blah, blah. So at every stage throughout the way, not only through the website, but if you opt in, if you purchase something, if you're getting an email, if you click on, hey, my pain point is this, throughout the entire customer journey, all of the stages, videos are infused in there so that we have copy, we have calls to action and videos that are driving them to that. Let's go to the next slide. And so then the other thing that we did too is we set up the tagging structure inside of her campaigns that it's never before, or at least in my life, never before seen clarity that from her dashboard, she can see the campaigns and the stages of all of her customer journeys and the number of people that are in all of those stages. And I'm not just talking about the entire campaign. I'm talking about specifically the exact email that you're going into. So she can start to see from an intelligent CEO's perspective, the ideal duration and the maximum duration it takes for those people to convert to go to the next stage, which gives her and her team the ability to quickly identify if there's an issue or if things are working or if they're not working. We can go to the next slide. And so one of the other things that we did too is we set up that the way her campaigns are built is you can dynamically come in and dynamically go out of the campaign stages. And so what I mean by that is this, is if you trigger something else that happens, like going to stage 2 versus stage 3, and these are different campaigns, the campaign will automatically stop you exactly where you're at, bring you over to the other campaign. And if you ever end up back into this campaign, it's going to pick up right where you left off. So the system and the campaigns are intelligent that those people are never going to get the same email twice. And so that's what we designed in all of her campaign stages. Let's go to the next slide. And so again, throughout, if the system is seeing that they're not doing something, they're failing to take action, we'll then build in more content, more videos, and then drive them to those calls to action. Let's go to the next slide. And so then what we did at every customer journey stage is we built a landing page specific to that thing. So if there's specific content or if there's specific buying questions in that stage, we set up custom landing pages that deliver that value, not only in a text-based format, but in a video format, and then invite them to other things like join the social group on Facebook or things like that. And then, so this is another example of a landing page where we're driving them and not just having a button to say, hey, schedule a free consultation. They get to see a video and understand exactly what they're going to expect to see in that free consultation, which ultimately drives to more conversions, more bookings. And when she has more of those bookings, she knows she's going to convert more people into sales. And so one of the other things that we did is in each campaign that we built that is to a specific customer journey stage, we also built tracks. So if you're clicking on things, if you're not doing things, if you have different interests in those things, the campaign is smart enough to understand like, hey, you're interested more in physical education than you are in after school activities. And so it'll route you into there and then start to dynamically change the conversation and deliver value and content to them so they don't lose interest in what would typically be a linear campaign. So all the campaign and the experience is dynamic along the entire customer journey. And so one of the other things that we did when we were talking to her is that her sales team said, you know, sometimes it's hard to follow up with everyone and we're not quite sure what they're doing. And so we built in automated tasks along the way. So not only does her team have a dashboard to know exactly where everyone is and what they're doing and what their interest and their segmentation is, but we also built in touch points to say, hey, this person is moving a little bit slower than they should. And it gives a task to the sales rep to say, reach out to this person. Maybe they need a personal touch. Maybe they need a phone call or something else. And so along all the customer journey stages that are leading up to the primary sale, we've got those tasks and things that only trigger if the process is taking longer than it should. And then what we did too is to make sure that it's not just about the sale, you have to give customer delight after the sale. And so we built campaigns, sequences, videos, and value adds along the entire way. So after you purchase, we have emails and campaigns that are going out for, hey, this is what's going to happen next. Your product is getting packaged up. It's getting ready for shipment. You have access now to go check out these tutorials and this information. So even when they're waiting to get their product delivered to them, they're getting wow and customer delight, which is ultimately going to make them happy and want them to, they're going to want to buy more products and services from Sandy. And so you're probably wondering, well, how in the world does this whole thing run? And the way we built this is it runs off of one form. And we made that form set up that it's the default form right inside of her system. So the screenshot is probably hard to see, but the way we've set it up is that with that one form, you can trigger and move someone to any stage. And the system is intelligent enough that if you just drop them into the customer journey stage 3 or 4, that it knows that they already got 2 emails. It'll skip those emails and go to the 3rd email. So the system's intelligent enough to make sure that the customer experience is delightful and it's not sending the same emails that are redundant or they've already seen. And then, of course, we had to make sure that we rebranded her website. So we gave her a fresh look and perspective that's fun. It's unique to her brand, mobile responsive. And of course, we integrated Infusionsoft and Keap right into it throughout the entire way. And one of the things we did is we built landing pages into her website to make sure that when you're clicking on a link and you're going to her website for a landing page or anything, it's all tied right into that. And then we built lead magnets based off of pain points. Back over to you, Sandy.
So
1 minute.
1 minute. Okay. Well, listen, the one thing that I want to say is this made such a difference. You can see right away, we started September 1st, 2019, and our business grew 30% in 3 months. And then we were on track to having our best year yet from January 1st to March 10th. We were up in 83% in sales. What I did was I pivoted, changed to virtual programs, and we've touched 10 million people, children throughout the country. And, we plan on continuing to touch more and more kids because we want all kids to have a positive experience being physically active. And you know what? I want to tell you, I believe in physical activity, and being able to have Infusionsoft and Keap being able to help us get the word out is really what I've always wanted, and with your help has made the difference. So thank you very much.
All right, great job. Way to go, Sandy, and all of our contestants. This is amazing stuff. I hope you're soaking up the gold that's here. Look, like I said, we're running late. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and wrap this up. Go to the field and vote. You can vote right now, right on the field, and then click on the offline meets online button right there, and give us just a couple minutes. We'll get this all turned around, and we'll turn it over to Justin Miller for our last session of the evening, and then we'll be off to tomorrow. Now, tomorrow starts with a 7 a.m. session by Janik. You heard from Janik a couple times earlier today. Great stuff on paid advertising. If you want to learn about that, you definitely want to be there. Now, again, that's 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, Arizona time. So that would be 6 a.m. Pacific. It would be 9 a.m. Eastern. I have no idea where it might be in your part of the world, wherever you are. But go to the field and you can add it to your calendar right now. It'll add in the right time zone in your calendar. You can see it in the right time zone as well for you. So let's close up right here, and then we'll meet you in just a couple of minutes over in the last session of the evening, and then we'll see you later for tomorrow. All right, thanks guys. We'll see you in just a moment.